Well, winning league titles was all the Sioux Falls Storm used to do until 2017 when the Arizona Rattlers came into the Premier Center and stunned the Storm in the United Bowl. After a loss at Iowa in last year's championship game, Sioux Falls is just a few hours away from their third shot to reclaim the IFL championship. To do so, they'll have to contend not only with the Arizona Rattlers, but the rowdy and raucous crowd they have. Arizona led the IFL in attendance this year with more than 13,000 fans per game. One notable twist to the title game this year is that it's being played in Glendale's Gila River Arena, home of the NHL's Arizona Coyotes. That's because the Rattlers' normal home of Talking Stick Arena is undergoing renovations for its prime tenant, the NBA's Phoenix Suns. Despite the move, Arizona still had more than 13,000 in the stands for the conference title game 2 weeks ago. It makes for a big-time atmosphere that Storm players love playing in, and could certainly make a championship win here the most satisfying title since their first one 14 years ago.
Most definitely I do put that college atmosphere into it, but to me, I just like spoiling parties, man. You know, go down there, win on their home field, come back and celebrate at Sioux Falls.
Well, it'd definitely be satisfying. Yeah, I'd be remiss if I said it would be like all the others. It wouldn't.
Well, win or lose, it could be the final game for a local legend in Sioux Falls, Lorenzo Brown. He first burst onto the scene in 2008 as the quarterback at the University of Sioux Falls, leading them to consecutive NAIA national championships. He became the Storm starter under center in 2015 and produced similar results, leading Sioux Falls to a pair of IFL titles and becoming the league's all-time leading scorer. Brown has hinted that he might hang it up after each of the last 3 championship games, and he acknowledges there's a chance that this could be his last game tonight.
Days are numbered. I don't know if this could be it, but I definitely am enjoying still playing the game. I'm having fun doing it, and I just don't take this for granted. If it is my last one, then hopefully it's on top.
Well, hopefully it is on top. Kickoff is about an hour and a half away. We will have in-progress highlights tonight at 10 o'clock and keep you updated on our social media pages. In the Canadian Football League last night, former South Dakota Coyote Chris Strevler didn't quite have as big a role in Winnipeg's victory as he did a week ago, but still had an impressive 23-yard touchdown run during the Blue Bombers' 47-21 win at Toronto. All told, Strevler passed for 30 yards and ran for 37 in relief duty. And South Dakota State alum Jake Winicky was in action today for Montreal. He caught 2 passes for 22 yards, including his second career touchdown in the Alouettes' 36-19 win over Ottawa. His second touchdown. Congrats to Jake. Day 2 of the South Dakota Match Play Golf Championships will see the men's field pared down to the semifinals, the Sunday's Final Four, and the championship finals set for the women's side. They had to dodge some early raindrops and lightning out in Brandon, but got all playing just fine. Women's semifinals, we start with the first pair as USD standout Katie Bartlett tries to sink a long birdie on number 5. She leaves it just short, but does take the hole from Sydney Weber on her way to a 2-1 victory to move into tomorrow's championship final. The other semi was just as good. First up, it's University of Omaha player Samantha Langford sinking a birdie putt uphill on number 9 to draw even with Maggie Murphy. However, the former Jackrabbit trying a birdie on the hole herself. She misses, but she get the last laugh as she moves on to the championship final against Bartlett 2-1. Moving over to the men's quarterfinals, 4 groups in action. In the first group, it's Chris Long putting from the fringe on number 7 for a birdie. Comes up just short, but that's plenty good enough to give him the hole as he defeats Jonah Dorr 1-up. On to group number 2, Jacob Otto had a terrific shot yesterday. The 29th seed in the tourney facing a long birdie putt on number 5. He leaves it just wide, however, he'll take par. He would battle Will Grevelis to the wire, eventually taking the match 2-1 to move into the semifinals. And it was another close matchup in the third group as Jeff Meyerink and Jesse Talcott went toe-to-toe. Meyerink chipping on the 12th green, and he'll settle for par with Talcott only a shot back. Meyerink would go on to win 1-up. The other winner was Colby Newburn, taking it 1-up. Again, the championships all tomorrow, the men's semifinals as well, then the championship tomorrow. Well, coming into the second half of the Major League Baseball season, the Cleveland Indians were becoming a trendy pick to overtake the Minnesota Twins in the AL Central after winning 6 straight to close within 5.5 games of first place. Last night, Minnesota reminded everyone just why they've been in first place virtually all year long. Trailing 3-1 entering the 7th inning, Minnesota scored 3 times, getting a go-ahead 2-run double from Jorge Polanco. They'd add a Mitch Garver home run in the 8th for insurance on their way to a 5-3 win that snapped Cleveland's 6-game win streak. Though the Twins now lead the Indians by 6.5 games, they see themselves as the ones in pursuit of the Indians since Cleveland has won the Central in each of the last 3 years.
Big time. It's a tough place to play. They really pack it out well. The fans are here are great. They're loud. This place is it's a tough place to play, and that's a good team over there. So yeah, we're chasing them down, one game at a time. But I know we got the division lead, but they got the target on their back.
Game 2 of that series just underway. We'll have highlights of that, plus the Canaries and much more tonight at 10. Back in a moment.